Did you know that it takes about 400 cocoa beans to make just 1 pound of chocolate? Yes, you heard that right. The humble cocoa bean, the heart and soul of every chocolate bar you've ever enjoyed, takes center stage in a remarkable journey from bean to bar. It's a process steeped in tradition, skill, and a dash of alchemy. 400 beans, each one hand-picked, fermented, dried, and roasted to perfection, all to create that 1 pound of sweet, melt-in-your-mouth goodness. It's an intricate dance of quality, care, and craftsmanship that transforms these tiny beans into the world's favorite treat. It's a process so complex, so nuanced, that it's almost magical. And yet, the end result is something so simple, so universally loved: chocolate. With this in mind, have you ever wondered how chocolate is made? The journey from a cocoa bean to a chocolate bar is not as simple as you might think. It's a long and intricate process that requires both time and skill to master. Let's start with the cocoa beans themselves. These beans are the seeds of the Theobroma cacao tree, a tropical plant that thrives in the equatorial regions of the world. The beans are nestled inside large, colorful pods that hang from the trunk and branches of the tree. Once ripe, these pods are harvested and cracked open, revealing the precious cocoa beans within. Yet, these beans are far from becoming chocolate. They undergo a process called fermentation, where they are left to sit and naturally ferment for up to a week. This fermentation process is crucial as it helps develop the bean's flavor complexity. After fermentation, the beans are dried under the sun for several days to reduce their moisture content. This drying phase is another essential step in the process, as it further enhances the beans' flavor and prepares them for the next stage: roasting. In the roasting process, the beans are heated to high temperatures, which brings out their rich chocolatey flavor. The roasted beans are then cracked and winnowed, separating the cocoa nibs from the husks. It's these nibs that are the heart of the chocolate we know and love. The cocoa nibs are then ground into a thick paste known as chocolate liquor. Despite the name, it contains no alcohol. This liquor is the base for all chocolate products. The final stages of the chocolate-making process involve refining and conching. In refining, the chocolate liquor is further ground until it reaches a silky, smooth texture. Conching, on the other hand, is a lengthy process of stirring and aerating the chocolate, which helps to develop its flavor and texture even more. So, the next time you bite into a chocolate bar, remember the long journey it has taken from a humble cocoa bean to the sweet treat in your hand. It's quite a journey from a humble bean to the delicious chocolate bars we all love. But what really sets a great chocolate apart is the touch of the chocolatier. This is where the magic truly happens. The chocolatier is the artist, the maestro conducting a symphony of flavors, textures, and aromas. Imagine a painter, but instead of a palette of colors, they're working with a spectrum of cocoa. From the bitter intensity of a high-percentage dark chocolate to the creamy sweetness of milk chocolate. Each type requires a unique approach, a delicate balance, and an intimate understanding of the cocoa bean. Now picture a sculptor, but instead of clay or marble, their medium is chocolate. They mold and shape it to create intricate designs and forms. Their hands are their most vital tools. The heat from their touch gently warms the chocolate, making it pliable and ready to take on any shape. Let's hear from some of these artisanal masters themselves. I often say that being a chocolatier is like being a winemaker. You need to understand the raw ingredient, know how to coax out its best qualities, and then blend it to create something extraordinary, shares one chocolatier with a twinkle in his eye. Another adds, every day when I step into my workshop, it's like stepping into a world of endless possibilities. The smell of cocoa, the feel of the chocolate under my hands. It's a dance, a duet between me and the chocolate, and I'm always in awe of the beauty we create together. When asked about their passion for chocolate, a third chocolatier responds, "It's not just about making a product, it's about crafting an experience, a memory. That moment when someone takes a bite, closes their eyes and just smiles. That's why I do what I do." Indeed, the world of chocolate is a realm of passion and artistry. It's not merely about following a recipe or adhering to a method, it's about understanding and respecting the cocoa, knowing what it can do and then pushing it to its limits to create something that's not just delicious, but truly remarkable. As you can see, making chocolate is both a science and an art. Now that you know how chocolate is made, why not try making some at home? Delving into the world of homemade chocolate can be a delightful journey. Though it may not be as intricate as commercial chocolate production, it's undoubtedly a fun and rewarding experience. First, let's start with the basics. You'll need cocoa beans, sugar, and cocoa butter for the simplest recipe. If you're feeling adventurous, you can add in some extras like vanilla, nuts, or even dried fruits. To start, you'll need to roast your cocoa beans. This process brings out the rich flavors and aromas that we associate with chocolate. Simply place your beans on a baking sheet and roast them in your oven at a low temperature. After roasting, you'll need to crack the beans and separate the nibs from the shells. The next step is to grind your cocoa nibs into a paste. You can use a grinder or a food processor for this. The more you grind, the smoother your chocolate will be. Once you have your cocoa paste, it's time to add in the cocoa butter and sugar. Now it's time for the most important step, tempering. Tempering is a process of heating and cooling the chocolate to give it a smooth and glossy finish. It might take a few tries to get it right, but don't worry, practice makes perfect. Once your chocolate is tempered, you can pour it into molds and let it set. This could take a few hours or even overnight, but trust me, the wait is worth it. Lastly, remember that making chocolate is an art. It requires patience, passion, and precision. Don't be discouraged if your first batch doesn't turn out perfect. Keep trying, learn from your mistakes, and before you know it, you'll be creating chocolate that rivals those found in high-end chocolateries. Remember, the key to great chocolate is patience and quality ingredients. Keep these in mind, and you're well on your way to creating delicious homemade chocolate. If DIY isn't your style, why not take a trip to a local chocolate factory instead? These treasure troves offer a unique opportunity to dive headfirst into the world of chocolate making. You get to see the magic unfold right before your eyes, from the roasting of cocoa beans to the pouring of silky smooth chocolate into molds. Visiting local chocolate factories also means supporting local businesses. When you buy from these small-scale manufacturers, you're helping to keep the art of chocolate making alive and thriving. And let's not forget the piece de resistance of any chocolate factory visit tasting. The moment when that sweet, rich morsel melts on your tongue, it's a sensory experience like no other. You might even discover a new favorite flavor or two. Whether you're making it at home or indulging in a local treat, chocolate is a journey worth exploring. Enjoy the ride!